Park, my friend.
Thank you, mate. Hi, Wayne. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
No, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. New squad. Maybe start with the 5 uncapped players. What's impressed them about you and why they're in?
Yeah, well, obviously we've got a lot of players away with the British and Irish Lions. That's the first point, 10 players unavailable, and some injuries as well. So there's going to always be some new caps, I think. And look, we're always excited when we're able to bring some new players in. It's building the depth of the squad. If you look at what we've got coming up over the next 24 months leading into the World Cup, this is the logical window to have that last look, I guess, in games which, from our point of view, are exciting. We've got a pretty hefty autumn series by any stretch of the imagination. I think that's a place to blood too many young fellas. And then we've got a Six Nations where we're obviously trying to defend a title, and then 3 tests in South Africa. So if you look at the next 12 months, this is the time to do it, we believe. Very similar to the autumn series that we had last time round, where we think this is the time to look at building the extra depth that's going to be required.
So perhaps in depth, Gareth Thomas, Ben Carter and Tane Basham, the forwards. What has impressed you about those 3?
Yeah, Gareth Thomas is a big man. Rhys carries the unfortunate one this time round. Rhys, we'll have a conversation with Rhys around reinforcing the discussions we had when he was in the squad in the Six Nations in terms of his development and what we need to see. But like Adam Baird, really, it's an opportunity to go away, have a big off-season, come back and then stake a claim for the autumns. But in terms of Gareth, he's another big man. I think he's improved his scrummaging, he's improved his all-round play, and I think this is a golden opportunity for us to have a look at him, see how he goes at this level of the game. Ben Carter, I think, is a fabulous young player. I think he's, for a young guy that stepped in the Dragons team, he's getting a lot of starts. I think Dean's worked him really well. He's shown that he's got a very big future in the game. And I think, when you look at long-term replacements for Alun Wyn, I think he's a young man that is showing all the credentials. Tane Basham we've had before in the squad. Tane broke his arm and sort of had some injuries along the way, but the way the game's going now, the breakdown, the way it's being refereed, there's not a lot of turnovers. I think it's now, we've got to have ball players, guys that can carry, guys can get us over the gain line. I think as a 7, he certainly can do that, and he's shown that in club rugby. He's done well coming off the bench, and who knows, he may get an opportunity off the bench for us.
And Tom Rogers and Ben Thomas, 2 very creative backs that you've got there. What's impressed you about those 2?
Yeah, just the X factor that they can bring. I think the fact that both of them can play in more than one position. Ben obviously has been a 10 that's been tried in the midfield and played a lot of games now at 12. I think he's got a skill set to even play 13. He's a young guy that we want to see up close and see what he can do in our environment. Also, Tommy Rogers is exactly the same, a guy that has a bit of X factor. Certainly both players are not the finished product by any stretch of the imagination. That's why we bring them in now in this environment, in the summer series, and have a closer look at them, give them some work-ons, and hopefully they'll go away and just keep improving their rugby under their clubs after this series.
Rhodri Williams hasn't played Test rugby for 7 years. Josh Turnbull 3. Have they been rewarded for their regional form?
Yes, I think so. And also, we need to get the blend of experience and youth right. And also, in Rhodri's position at 9, you've obviously got Rhys Webb back from injury, very experienced player, and we know what Webby can do. And had a good chat with Lloyd Williams this morning, and we know what Lloyd can do. Both those guys are going to be entrenched in their 30s come World Cup time, and so for us, it's having really a last opportunity to have a look at Rhodri as well, and then we'll probably cast the net in terms of the 9s that we think the World Cup group will come from, unless there's a young bolter over the next 24 months that comes through and forces their way in.
And has Josh Turnbull forced your hand? He's 33, but he's been arguably the regional form player this year.
Yeah, well, I think very similar to Dan Lydiot, showing some good form for his club, brings a lot of experience, has played Test rugby before. And then when you look at the guys that are unavailable through both injury and selection to the Lions, there's always going to be some change there. And I think with Ross coming back in, a guy like Josh, and the loose forwards in particular, just gives us a little bit more edge. Obviously Shane's injured. Aaron Schindler's come back from a long layoff. Players there that have been unlucky with injury as well.
Jonathan Davies is your captain. Is perhaps an obvious choice in terms of experience. He'd done it before. How has he coped with his Lions disappointment, and what are you expecting from him this summer?
Well, as you'd expect, true pro, he's disappointed like anybody would be. At his age, it's his last opportunity for the Lions, and we don't know what's around the corner. There's already been one change, I understand, so who knows, there could be more with the amount of games yet to be played, but certainly is disappointed. But look, he loves pulling on the Welsh jersey. When I gave him the phone call yesterday, it was a dreaded phone call within 24 hours of naming a squad. He thought he was being left out, I think, but certainly he was over the moon with given the opportunity to lead the side, and thinks it's an honour and a privilege, and he's looking forward to taking on that role. Was
Owen Watkin available? Just to clarify that, Wayne, for you.
Yeah, he's had some niggles. He's had some injuries. Had a good chat to Owen. Stephen's had a chat to him as well. He's a player that I think will benefit from a big off-season coming back. He's got Michael Collins coming into the same club. There'll be competition for places. I think what we just need to see a bit more out of him on attack, and that's the messages that he's been given. He's a solid enough player. We know that. So really it's an opportunity to learn about some of the others, and with a slightly smaller squad, he's one of the casualties. But certainly he knows if he shows the right form that the autumns are just around the corner.
Final one for me, a test against Canada, but then there's also 2 tests against Argentina, who showed last year against New Zealand what they do even without a lot of rugby. What are you hoping to get out of this summer?
Yeah, also 2 draws in Australia with the Aussies. So, look, they're probably at the best they've been for many, many years. So it's going to be a huge test for us, for the squad that gets the opportunity to play in those 2 matches. Certainly, for us, I think where we're at, we're going to learn a lot more coming up against an opponent like Argentina twice than, say, America and Canada 2 or 3 times. So with all due respect to them. So Canada will be a good first up game for us to put a team out and get back into the groove, if you like. And then, there are going to be 2 big test matches where we'll learn a lot about the new players and some of the players that'll have to step up into leadership roles that haven't necessarily been in leadership roles in the past.
Thank you, Wayne. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Wayne. Simon here.
How are you, Simon?
I'm good, thank you. I think Jack Morgan is a name that quite a few people were expecting to see in this squad. How close did he come? You obviously talked about Tame, but how close was Jack to making it?
Yeah, look, we've been tracking him. He's a good, solid player. He's new to club rugby at the sort of the top level. The other boys have probably just got a year or 2 on him, and in our opinion, probably just that slight bit ahead in terms of experience at this level of the game. And it's another step up, obviously, into test match level. And I think, he's just going to have to keep working hard at his game. He's a good young player, and he's one that no doubt we'll hear more about in the future.
Just expanding slightly on what you said in the scrum half consideration there. Were you saying that the likes of Rhys, Webb, and maybe Lloyd as well are still in the mix in terms of the World Cup? The door isn't closed to them? Yeah,
look, I think Dan Lydiat's the prime example of, if you're working hard and your form was good enough, the opportunity comes, you've got to be ready to take it. And unfortunately for Dan, he picked up the injury against Ireland, but certainly we felt that he had worked really, really hard. He was ticking a lot of boxes. And when the opportunity came, we didn't hesitate in selecting him. So I guess that message goes out to all the players that are sort of that 30 plus that, haven't been selected. It's not the end of the world. Things can change pretty quickly.
Just lastly for me, aside from anybody who's been mentioned, were there any other players who you would have considered who you couldn't because of injury?
Obviously Gareth Anscombe's one we would have liked to have seen come back, but the right decision has been made there. Everybody's got their heads together. The Ospreys are doing a good job with his rehab now, and he's back goal kicking. He's ticking most of the boxes. So really, it's to have an off season for Gareth where there are nothing hindering him doing everything that he needs to do to hit the ground running. So that's exciting for Gareth. Hopefully, he's going to hit the ground running at the start of the season. Rhys Patchell is one. And you look at the 10s. He's one that's been out a long time. Unfortunately, he's come back and had some niggles with leg injuries. So, just those players have run out of time, haven't they? Alice Jenkins was one that obviously we were monitoring as well when he came back from his serious layoff, and unfortunately, he's picked up a few niggles as well. So, yeah, look, there are a few guys that definitely under the microscope, and we're looking very closely at. I mean, we won't stop monitoring those players. we need the strongest pool, the deepest pool of players that we can get closer we get to 2023.
Cheers, Wayne. Thank you.
Thank you.